बंगाली में कोई बोल देगा तो हो जाएगा। चलो सचिन, मैं तो सचिन कार्यक्रम में भी तो टाइम का गाना सिखाना है ना, अभी आएंगे।
हेलो सचिन।
डांस वाला भी आएंगे, डांस वाला कुछ ऊपर चढ़वा।
हेलो सचिन।
तो है वो देखो।
Hello Nishant. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We can start. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Start now. Yes.
Good morning, one and all. This is Nishant Burade. On the behalf of Kamla Nehru Mahavidyalaya, I welcome you all in online national 1-week faculty development program on research methodology. Today is the third day of FDP. Before we proceed, it's my duty to pay my humble homage to the memory of Honorable late Shri Govindaraoji Vanjari, founder president of Amar Seva Mandal. We are going to have lecture from one of the eminent experts from the research field. It's my pleasure to introduce today's speaker, Dr. Naveen Chandra Gopal Shimpi. Shimpi sir is working as professor in Department of Chemistry, University of Mumbai, Santa Cruz. Sir has published total 97 research papers in 95, which are from them 95 are international and 2 are in national journal. Sir also presented paper in conferences on symposium at national level 40 and international 60. His first area of research is nanomaterials and their functionalization, biodegradation, polymers, and rubber nanocomposite. Sir has completed total 10 PhD, UGC, CSR. Sir is life member of Asian Polymer Association and Indian Science Congress. Till date, Sir has guided 15 MTech students 13 PhD students, and 6 are ongoing. Sir also have 2 patents granted till date. He is editorial board member of the journal, the Open Material Science Journal, and Nanoscience and Nanotechnology. He is still adding many feathers to his cap. Today he is going on to the talk on the topic research paper and project writing, the way for the best outcome. With this, I would like to request Dr. N.G. Shimpi sir to share his expertise and knowledge with the participants. Over to you, Dr. Shimpi sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and the screen is visible. It is in presentation mode.
Yes.
Okay.
Screen also visible. Yeah.
Yes. I have muted my video purposefully for proper bandwidth. Okay. I request other participants to mute their themselves, and also possible to mute the video so that we can have a proper bandwidth during the presentation. Before to start with the lecture, I express my thanks to Professor Gurnule sir and his team from Kamla Nehru Mahavidyalaya for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to present some idea about the faculty development program on projects, paper writing, and many things. Actually, I have changed my topic, that is research and research project, key development in new findings, because many of the peoples will resource person will talk about the how to write the paper, how to format the paper properly, and so repetition should not be happen. Therefore, I will talk about the research and research project writing, key development in new findings. Okay, Gunule sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so before to go with this, our former president, Bharat Ratna, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, even though he was the scientist, but he was one of the ideal teacher who has his last ride at the time of the lecture in Bangalore, I think so. All of us do not have equal talent. What he says, all of us do not have equal talent, but all of us have an equal opportunity to develop our talent. Means many of the people have talent, but the talent is not in a equal manner. It will never be in the same level. But everyone's talent can be developed. And when it develops, they have the equal opportunity. That is the meaning of this particular sentence. One more quote is there: the wise man lets go of all results, whether good or bad, and is focused on the action alone. We are doing many experiments for getting very good innovation. But during this particular experimentation, something happens in a good way or something happens in a bad way. But even the things happen good way or even the things happen in a bad way, you did not focus on that particular aspect, but you can focus on the action, what the action is taking place from that particular result. Research is to see what everybody else has seen and to think what nobody else has thought. This is the idea about the research. When we talk about the research, what does it mean by research? These are the few points here which we like to discuss here. That is, research is a systematic and objective investigation of subject or a problem in order to discover or solve relevant problems. When we are approaching for, when we are in just undergraduate and then we done the post graduation, after that few of us, suppose we have the master program of chemistry, and in that particular chemistry program, if we have only 20 students enrollment in this particular program for the first year, out of that 20 students, few of them enter into the second year, few of them have indicative, few of them get failed in the first year. Say 10 students come in the second year, and out of the 10 students, only 1 or 2 students thinking towards the research. So when they think about the research, it is a systematic and objective investigation. They have to think the topic in a systematic way. They have to define their objectives properly. And when they define their objectives properly related to their subject, either the subject may be the chemistry, maybe the physics, any science and technology subject. And in order to discover the relevancy of that particular problem, and when we think about that particular research, that research should be a inter-relevance research, interdisciplinary research, so that every aspect can be resolved in a proper way. Research is the continual search for the truth using the scientific method. We have to use the scientific method in a proper way. Here, I like to quote an example. Now, from last 10 to 15 years, one new technology is come in front of us, that is a nanoscience and nanotechnology. When we talk about this particular nanoscience and nanotechnology, this technology deals with the field that is a materials technology. It is nothing but the material science and technology. And when we talk about this particular material science and technology, ultimately it deals with the chemistry, because major part is the synthesis of nanomaterials. And when we talk about the synthesis of nanomaterial, it has the two aspects of the chemistry. One is the inorganic chemistry and second is the physical chemistry. Because we are taking the elements from the periodic table. We are synthesizing copper sulfate nanoparticle. We are synthesizing lead sulfate nanoparticle, zinc oxide nanoparticle. We are synthesizing some polymer-based nanoparticle or core shell nanoparticle. Means when we talk about this particular synthesis method, we have to develop some method for a uniform size. There are the two approaches. One is a top to down and second one is a bottom to up approach. We select bottom to up approach. Here we are putting some our efforts to get the proper nanoparticle. That is, research is the continual search. We are searching out something new method for getting a uniform size of the nanoparticle with uniform morphology, or a hierarchical nanoparticle, hierarchical shape nanoparticle. Morphologies are of different ways. Means it is a continual search for the truth using the scientific method. We are using the scientific method. It is the pursuit of the truth with the help of the study, investigation, observation, and comparison. When we have synthesized some nanoparticles, say with the help of say bottom-up approach, and in that bottom-up approach, if I say co-precipitation technique we are using for the synthesis of nanoparticle. After using this co-precipitation technique, suppose one of the researcher has synthesized zinc oxide nanoparticle with the help of the co-precipitation technique. And if we use, instead of co-precipitation technique, if we use a different method, that is a micro emulsion technique, or say simply emulsion technique for the synthesis of the zinc oxide nanoparticle, then we have to accept the reality, how the way we can proceed for that particular method. We have to do some investigation. We have to do some trial and errors for the proper method, to set up the proper methodology. We have to make the keen observation of what is happening at every step. And after getting a final product, we have to compare the product obtained with the help of the micro emulsion technique and the product obtained with the help of the co-precipitation technique. What is the difference in the size? What is the difference in the morphology that we have to compare with both these methods? That is nothing but the research, is nothing but the investigation. It is nothing but the keen observation, and it is nothing but the analysis. It is nothing but the comparison between the methodologies already developed by the other scientists, and now you have developed whatever the method, that there should be the comparison, proper comparison should be there. Research is a quest for knowledge through diligent search or investigation or experimentation aimed at the discovery and interpretation of new knowledge. Research is not only the data collection. Research is not accidental discovery. When we talk about the research is not accidental discovery, what does it mean by accidental discovery? Accidental discovery may occur in the structured research process. Usually takes the form of a phenomenon not previously noticed. May lead to a structured research process to verify or understand the observation. And it is not the data collection in intermediate step to gain reliable knowledge. Collecting reliable data is a part of the research process. Why research is not accidental? What we are doing, it is a research. Whatever the search is done, we are only doing the research in that. usually takes the form of the phenomenon not previously noticed. Falling of the apple from the tree, that has been the observation made by Einstein. That is nothing but the gravitational force. It is the accidental discovery. And when we are synthesizing some nanoparticles, it is not the accidental discovery. We are doing the trial and error method because it is already been said that formation can be possible, whether the bigger size or whether the smaller size. Searching out published research result in libraries or the internet. This is an important early step of research. The research process always including synthesis and analysis. But just reviewing of literature is not the research. Only to review the literature is not the research. Whatever the literature survey you are doing, after getting the literature survey properly, you can develop your own method for the synthesis of the material, and their application can be properly enhanced to get a proper idea from that particular material. Research is searching for explanation of events, phenomena, relationship, and causes. When we talk about the particular research, we have the ability to ask what, how, and why the things occur. You can ask the question to yourself: who, where, when, how, what, and why the process is taken. Are there some interaction? Is there some correlation? Is there some proper interaction with that particular system or not? That everything should be properly calculated and noted into your notebook, and then you can start the proper experimentation after the trial and error, and then go for the large scale. Not only the laboratory scale, but you think for the large scale also, because when we do the research, that research is at the laboratory scale. But when you have to go for the larger scale, whatever the findings you have in your hand, that findings cannot be possible to the large scale. So in the large scale, how the things can be feasible, that we have to think. A process, plan and manage to make the information generated variable. The process is creative and it is circular, always lead to more questions. Whatever the research you are doing, that research should be the sustainable one. That should not a time being only. That should be a sustainable research that can sustain for a long time. That such research has the proper credit or proper importance in today's scenario. Well-designed and conducted research has a potential application. Whatever the research you are doing, that research should have the potential application. If that particular material does not have any application, then it is meaningless. Benefits of the research: develops a critical and scientific attitude. When we are doing the research, it develops a critical and scientific attitude. Everywhere we can have a critical attitude, everywhere we have the scientific attitude because of the research background. Disciplined thinking to observe objectively. Everywhere we are putting our observation in a proper way. We are thinking why these things are happening, why this is not happening, how to make this research a reliable one. That thinking level can be enhanced because of the research applicability. In-depth scientific study, we can go in-depth scientific study. Once the results is obtained, when we have a smaller particle size as compared to the other method, suppose in co-precipitation technique, if we have a particle size of say 50 nanometer, and when we are using emulsion technique for the synthesis of nanomaterial, and in that particular case, we are getting the particle size of 25 nanometer, then that way of thinking develops a critical view and a scientific attitude. It develops the high level thinking towards the particular observation, and we can think about the particular change in the size scientifically to study what the reason behind that particular aspect. That scientific attitude can be developed. Doing research is the best way to learn to read and think logically with scientific approach. What is the motivation for this? To face challenges in solving the unsolved problems, desire to get research degree. This point is not only to think that is to get the research degree. Don't think about only the research degree that I am doing the PhD, I will get the degree. Once the degree will get, I will get 4 or 5 increments from that particular way. That is not the way to think. To face the challenge, we have the ability, we have to generate the ability to solve the unsolved problem. Just take, for example, that is a solving the unsolved problem. That is the computational chemistry. Computational chemistry is the theoretical approach towards the key findings and towards the key developments in the field of the organic chemistry or any other chemistry. One problem can be solved. Suppose one reaction is there, A plus B gives the C product. When A plus gives the C product, where is the attachment, where is the ligament linking for that particular system that can be easily resolved with the help of this computational chemistry? Means unsolved problem can also be solved easily with the help of the computational chemistry. To get intellectual joy of doing some creative work, desire to be of service to the society, when we are doing the research, that research should be beneficial to the society. Beneficial not only to the society, it should be beneficial to the nation. And when it is beneficial to the nation, we can have a very good respect through the globe because of the high quality research. Desire to get respectability, as I mentioned, that when we are doing the research for the benefit of the others, then we ultimately get the respect from that particular outcome of that particular research. Like Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, he has developed a very high quality missile, and because of that particular missile, he has a very good respect throughout the society. Steps in research process. These are the steps which needs to take place before to start the research process. Formulating the research problem, we have to formulate the research problem. When we have decided to go for the research, that we have to meet the particular person in which field you want to do your research. Suppose if you want to do the research in the field of the chemistry, and specifically in the chemistry, when we talk about the interdisciplinary relevancy, when we talk about the nanoscience and nanotechnology, if you have to go in the computational chemistry, if you have to go in the synthetic organic chemistry, if you have to go in the natural products, if you have to go in the suppose in nuclear chemistry, if you want to go in polymer chemistry, then you have to search out the proper guide who is doing the particular research in that particular field. Once you find the guide, you can discuss with them and you can formulate your research problem properly. Once your research problem is defined, after consenting with that particular guide, you can start to do the extensive literature survey, what is been done before to start my research work. And when you are formulating the final research proposal, till date, what is the research is going on, everything should be come into that particular literature survey. And then you can define your problem by considering all aspects of this particular system. Developing the hypothesis, you can develop some hypothesis, preparing the research design it properly, in what way you can achieve your target. Collection of data, you can collect again data, when you can go for the actual, when you can start the actual research. Then execution of the project, you can execute the project properly. Step by step, you can define the phases, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4 accordingly. Then analysis, once you done a first step of the research, once you find out the first means methodology, you can analyze that particular data obtained. Then hypothesis testing, generalization and interpretation of the work, and presentation of the work. What is the research problem? Research problem is an unanswered question that a research might encounter in the context of the either a theoretical or a practical situation. Here I have put some examples. That is what research I am doing. Suppose room temperature sensing of poisonous gas at ppm level with response time in seconds. Development of technique for the synthesis of smart nanomaterials and or a smart sense. See, first and the second, I have modified. In first title, room temperature sensing of a poisonous gas at ppm level with response time in a second. This title becomes very precise. It is very particular topic that poisonous, I have to sense the poisonous gas. At what level I have to sense it at ppm level, and what is the response time? That response time is in a second. Means when I define this topic for the particular research to start the research in the gas sensing materials, that time I have some rigid boundary, I have some particular level that I have to do the research work in that particular direction. But when I go with the second topic, that is the development of the technique for the synthesis of smart nanomaterial and or a smart sensor. That is I will develop the technique for the synthesis of nanomaterial, and I will use that material for the sensing of the gases. In this way, I have defined. Means when I talk about this particular topic, I can have the number of ways to develop a smart nanomaterial. I can use any of the method for the development of the smart nanomaterial. I can do the characterization, and I can use this particular nanomaterial for sensing of any gas at any ppm level at any response time. In this way, I can define this topic. This is the way how to define the topic. Extensive research, extensive literature survey and review. How we can do this literature review? We can use books, we can use the journals, we can go through the internet. Now internet is available everywhere, and we can do many of the literature review through the internet. Through the internet, we can get journals, we can get the books, e-books, e-journals, databases can be possible, archives, we can talk with the different research guide observations, we can have the reports, we can have the records. Then critically review the literature on the problem under study. Any such work done by the other in the past, we have to do the critical research. What type of the, suppose you previously I have defined this topic, development of technique for the synthesis of smart nanomaterials and smart sensors. How the research is already been done, that you have to collect all the data from the past, state whether you want to confirm the findings, challenge the conclusion, extend the work further, whatever the work done previously, how I can, what is the disadvantages of that particular work, what is the disadvantages of that particular methodology, and how that disadvantages can be overcome, and to modify that particular methodology, that can you have to think on that particular, extend the work further, bridge some gap in existing knowledge. This is way the extensive literature survey and review can be done. Extensive literature survey can be available databases are library, by substance index, by formulating index, by author index. You can go with the substance index, subject means I rather say subject index. For formula, you can put whatever the formula you have to search out, you can put in the particular formula index, and with the help of the author index too. When you can go with the electronic way, electronic database, there are the number of electronic database. SciFinder is there, Science Direct is there, and Internet is there. Science, you can, if you go in the Science Direct, you can directly search out through with the help of the particular journal, say Applied Surface Science, or Sensors and Actuators Part B, Physics Part A, Chemical, like this. You can go some say nanostructure, nano objects. You can go say ACS journals. You can go if you go with the SciFinder, it is a particular finder, SciFinder. From that particular SciFinder, you can get only abstract, not full length paper. But if you go with the Science Direct, if you are the subscriber, you can get the full length paper. If you go with the internet, if some access are open access, you can directly get the paper from the internet also. What are the sources? Archives, books, journals, databases, internet, already I mentioned. We opted here SciFinder and Science Direct. For the research in the science field, in science and technology, you can opt SciFinder as well as a Science Direct. If you don't have this proper system, if you have a good relation with the other institute, if any colleague is there working in that particular system, say in NCL or in other colleges, many colleges are subscribing very good journals because they are also doing a very good quality of the journals, good quality of the research, and they are publishing their papers in a high impact factor journal. So you can have a very good relation, you can directly contact with that particular researcher and ask him to give that particular research paper. He or she will give that particular paper, and you can think from that particular point to find the innovative work, to do the innovative work, to do the novel work. This is how the topic search can be done. If you have, this is the science direct, you can put the subject polymer chemistry, polymer nanocomposite, and when once you put the polymer nanocomposite, you will get the number of papers in that particular direction, in that particular field. If you have to synthesize nanomaterial, particular nanomaterial, you just put the nanomaterial, you will get n number of papers in that particular direction. If we are doing in biological science, if you are doing the research in the life sciences, if you are doing in the physical sciences, you just put that particular area, you will get the topic. According to the topic search, you will get n number of pages here. In case of the author search, if you put the name A.G. Shimpi or Naveen Chandra Shimpi, you will get number of papers. If the papers are in the science direct, then you will get the n number of the papers in that particular name of the author. If you go with the journal of the book, you will get that particular book. See, composite part A, part B. If you go composite part A, for composite part A, you will get the journal name here. If you go with the nanostructure, nano object, you will get the papers published in that particular journal nearby or in the past issue also. You can just put here the name. If you have this particular volume, if you have the issue, if you have the pages, you can put this information here. You will get that particular paper in that particular volume, in that particular issue, in that particular year. You will get that particular journal. This is how the journal search can be possible. Presentation of the report. You can present the report like this. Whatever the title you have said, title of the article. When you are writing the paper, the same parameters you have to follow. Writing the paper and writing the outline or writing the synopsis, very close to each other. Only the form of the presentation for this particular part is different. When you are writing the outline for the topic approval, it has some different approaches. When you are writing the synopsis, it has the different approach as compared to the outline. And when you are writing the paper, research paper, in between your research tenure, that time the way of the presentation is somewhat different, but the part is the same. So you have to define the title of the article. Whatever the article you are going to publish, you have to define the title accordingly. You can write the abstract. Once you write the abstract, you can write the brief. In abstract, you can write the brief summary of the work done, major observation and the result. Once you write, suppose you have work done in the field of the nanomaterial, that is, you have synthesized one of the nanoparticles, say you have synthesized a nanoparticle like calcium carbonate. And once you have synthesized the calcium carbonate and you have used this calcium carbonate for rubber nanocomposite to improve the strength of the rubber, that time the title of the article should be like this: synthesis of calcium nanoparticle using in situ technique and its application in rubber nanocomposite, or thermal and mechanical properties of SBR nanocomposite using calcium carbonate as a filler. Once you define the title, you can write the abstract. Whatever the methodology you have used for the synthesis of calcium carbonate, you can write that particular 2 or 3 lines on that particular synthesis. Whatever the characterization you have done for that particular calcium carbonate, whether it is in the nano size or not, that should be write up in a 1 or 2 line. And whatever the use of this calcium carbonate as a filler in SBR nanocomposite, you can write how you have prepared the SBR nanocomposite and what is the results obtained from that particular rubber nanocomposite. Compare that results and why this is happening. You can write the result. Means abstract should be at least 10 to 15 lines. Abstract should be there. That abstract includes methodology. That abstract includes technique used for the characterization, applications you have done, and what is the observation you are getting from that particular way. In this way, you can say the abstract. Then you can write the introduction. How the introduction should be there. Name of the problem. Clear reason for understanding the particular research. Put forward the hypothesis. Enumerate aim and objective of the study. In this way, you can write the introduction. Introduction should be there with the past work done by the previous researcher, along with the comparison with the present work you have done. That should be in a correlation with each other. The introduction should be not more than 2.5 pages. It should be only 1.5 page only, or rather, it should be constrained with 1 page only. That should not be too late. Review of the literature should become in that particular part. Whatever the materials and method you have used, that should become. Then start to discuss about the result, presentation of the data, analysis of the result, and go for the conclusion. Conclusion should be point wise. Bullet point should be there. 4 to 5 points should be there. How your research is better than the previous research, that should be there. If any acknowledgement is there, if you have this project, if you have done this work for any funding agency, you should write about the funding agency. Authors are thankful to the funding agency so and so for providing the financial assistance. If a student directly getting the junior research fellowship, he or she can directly write about the CSIR or about the UGC on that particular acknowledgement. Discussion should be there. Conclusion, as I mentioned. Recommendation, mostly you can now add one additional way, that is the comparison, means commercial aspect of that particular research. How this work is commercially viable, or whether it is commercially viable or not, that should be coming to the paper. That should be the new part in that particular recommendation, and the constructive suggestion for the future aspect. Acknowledgement, I have mentioned acknowledgement. Bibliography or references should be there last to the references, and appendices, if any appendices is there, or any supporting material is there, that should be in the last of the research paper or your synopsis. Then about the project, as I mentioned, I will talk mostly on the project, how to write the projects. This is the format from the DRDO project. That is I have defined this title like this: proposal on what title I will discuss. That is a green chemistry approach for the synthesis of smart nanostructure using ultrasonic cavitation technique with study of particle formation mechanism and their application in specialty polymers. I define this topic. Why? Because when we talk about the defense, it has a very nation supporting research should be there. And when we talk about this particular topic, that is, I have used green chemistry approach for the synthesis of smart nanostructure. Instead of chemical base, I use the green chemistry approach. That is, with the help of the plant extract, I have synthesized some nanoparticle with the help of or under the control of the ultrasonic cavitation technique. And at the same time, I have studied the particle formation mechanism, how the particles are going during the process. That mechanism I have also formulated, and then application to the specialty polymers for the emergency landing of the aeroplanes, emergency landing of the helicopters. That is a helipads we have formulated with the help of the specialty polymer, because sudden cracks are developed over that particular surface when the landing is done because of the high impact. To protect that particular material, to protect that helipad from the cracks, we have used these nanoparticles that can sustain that the growth of the cracks over the surface because of the emergency landing. Okay. Then you can go with the keywords. What keywords will be there? 4 to 5 keywords should be there. Smart nanostructures. I have mentioned here the smart nanostructure. What approach? Green approach. Which method? With the green approach, ultrasonication. What polymers we are using? Specialty polymers. And I will check the properties. Therefore, I have put the properties as a keyword. Type of the institute. They ask the institute type of the, whether the private, whether the government, whether the state government, fully government, central government. You can put if you are dealing with the state government, you can put the state government here. University, IITs, colleges. This is their lookout by the particular funding agency. What duration of the grant you are required? You can mention here the 3 years. Name of the principal investigator. You can write the principal investigator here. Then, if you have the co-PI in that particular project, you can put the co-investigator. The purpose of the co-investigator is that if he is in the same field, you can have the distribution of the work properly, and you can execute the project very smoothly. And second purpose of the co-investigator is that if the principal investigator during the tenure of the project is get selected somewhere to the other place, then he can't take the project very easily. He can't transfer the project from this institute to this institute, because lot of formalities are there. Even the funding agencies agree you can carry the project from this institute to that institute, but whatever the present institute is there, that creates a lot of hurdles. Therefore, the co-investigator should be there so that he can handle the rest of the period of the project very easily, and therefore the co-investigator is being there. You can define the objectives of the proposal. What objectives? These are the objectives I have defined. What objectives? Synthesis of smart nanostructure, like you can elaborate very large extent. You can show number of materials or oblique like this, and or like this. Means you don't have fixed commitment with the particular material. Therefore, you can say synthesis of smart nanostructure like core shell. I have put the material's name in the bracket. That is a calcium carbonate core shell polystyrene, calcium carbonate core shell polymethyl methacrylate, nanocopolymer, that is a nanopolystyrene pan acrylonitrile, and cadmium sulfate, zinc sulfate core shell like this. And I will synthesize core shell, as well I will synthesize metal oxide and or sulfide nanoparticles using green approach assisted ultrasonic cavitation technique. Means research is not been in a particular point. It is highlighted in a number of the points, so that if I get failed in synthesizing calcium carbonate polystyrene core shell nanoparticle, then I can successful in calcium carbonate polymethyl methacrylate, then I can use this material for the particular application. Therefore, large but no rigid body should be there. Study the effect of smart nanostructure on properties of specialty polymer. The expected smart nanostructure size will be in between 30 to 100 nanometer of variable geometries. A general mathematical model will be predicted for particle formation based on the concentration of the half of the leaf extract with the help of the leaf extract. Then we can use the different surfactant precursor, intensity of ultrasonic waves, and effect of the temperature also. And then extent of distribution can be studied with the help of the FESM and 10. We can go with different testing like this. These are the objectives we have defined. Other objectives, excluding the previous objective, what are the other objectives? These are the three objectives we have defined for that particular system. Okay, these are the three optimum condition for performing for the formation of stable exfoliating nanocomposite. After defining this, name and affiliation of visiting faculty of research consultant. If you need any research consultant during that particular project, you can put the name of this particular research consultant. If you are submitting the project to the DRDO, they ask for that particular, or they will suggest themselves when you go for the presentation for the project. Before that, I have mentioned not applicable. Name of the collaborating DRDO or other institution, if any, in the current proposal. When they go through the project, if they think that this DRDO laboratory will be feasible for this particular project, and they are suggesting that for my project, they have suggested DMSRD Kanpur will be the controller. Means they will look into this project. I have to report that findings of the project to the DMSRD Kanpur. In this way, you can or they will suggest. Before that, you can write anything over there. Name of the DRDO lab, if any collaborated in the past. Not applicable here. If you have the collaboration, you can write here that NMRL Lembernath is having the collaboration with us. Like this, you can mention. They asked two best publication in the field of by the PI and the co-PI in last 5 years. What is the publication? You can mention here the number of publication, list the publication, patents. If any patents are there, you can put. Then propose expenditure. You can write the expenditure. What is the budget requirement for first year, second year, third year? You can line up in this particular table. There will be the staff for the junior research fellow. The junior research fellow now getting 31,000 per month plus HRA for first 2 years, and after third years he can be upgraded with the senior research fellow at 35,000 plus HRA. for the last year with 30% HRA like this. Whatever the equipment you are required for this particular project execution, you can put the amount and write the name of the equipment here. Opportunity, operations and maintenance of equipment, then expendables what you require, travel grant if you require for traveling, for presentation of the research finding to the any international or national. It is limited only for the domestic travel, not for the international travel. Okay, so you can put the amount here accordingly for first year, second year, third year, like this. Contingency used for the characterization purpose of the material, whatever the material you have synthesized, for that you can put here. Visiting faculty, if you need, you can put the name of the visiting faculty and amount required, how many visits he will do or she will do during the project, you can put here. Then procurement services means you can write here procurement services and institutional overhead charges at 50%. For the first column, whatever the total of the first column, to that total of the first column, 15% should be added. Accordingly, the column total should be there. And overall, first, second, and third column you can put here like this. Means the total cost of the project more than nearby 28 lakhs like this. Okay. Then, if you have the previous projects from any funding agency, you can write whatever the projects in your hand from the funding agency, you can write here. These are the projects when you have completed, what is the duration of the project, what is the cost of the project, whether it is completed or incomplete status, you can mention here. Then this is the detail application. You can write the title here. Then whatever the aim you have previously defined in that particular table, type of the project, under which field you have to put this project under the nanotechnology and nanoscience, you can put here accordingly. Okay. Then define the aims and objectives of the project. Accordingly, again, you can redefine this structure uniformly. Okay. This is again the name of the investigator, name of the co-investigator is again here. Then proposed duration of the project. Okay. How you can achieve the target that you have to define. Phase 1, 6 months from the commencement of the project. In the phase 1, what you will do will be the phase 1 of the project will be maximum of 6 months, which includes literature review related to the synthesis of coarse and nanostructure material, green approach and ultrasonic chemistry, or whatever the literature review related with the project that you have to do, and during that period you can start the process of purchasing of the chemicals required for the project, purchasing of the equipment you have suggested for the particular project. That equipment you have to purchase within this 6 months period. Phase 2, that will be the 24 months after the phase 1, means it is completely 24 months from this particular phase. In that, you can start with the synthesis, characterization, then application of that particular material, then writing of the research paper during that particular process. Whatever the model you have to define, you can define the model in that particular 24 months. In phase, means again in phase 1, we have defined 3 different phases. Phase 2A, 12 months, synthesis and characterization of coarse nanomaterial. Phase 2B, preparation of polymer nanocomposite. Phase 2C, 6 months, development of kinetic model for particle formation mechanism. In the last phase, that will be the 6 months after the phase 2. The phase 3 of the project will be of 6 months, comprises of result analysis and verification data, preparation of research article, preparation of final technical report. We can prepare all these things in that particular. We can close, if your project is not completed, you can write the request letter for the extension of the project, and that extension will be without any financial assistance. You can get the extension for that for 6 months only, and during that 6 months you can complete all the formalities like the writing of the project report, writing the paper, research paper, publication of the research work, then preparation of the utilization certificate, audited statement. All these things can be completed and then submit to the funding agency. These are the details. Again, they are asking why you need the senior research fellow, junior research fellow. You can give the justification why you need this maintenance fund, why you need the equipment. You can give the justification here. contingency, what is the purpose of the contingency, what is the purpose of the expendables, what is the purpose of the travel. You can give the all justification in this particular part. Then go with the brief review of state of art in the field. What is the national and international status of that particular work you are suggested that you have to put here in detail. You can put the references also, whatever the referencing you have done. Scientific importance of this project you can put here. Then method and procedure, whatever the method you will apply for the synthesis, you can go with this preparation of leaf extract, synthesis of nanostructure, characterization of smart material, preparation of polymer nanocomposite, testing of polymer nanocomposite, mathematical model for particle formation, and how this work is applicable to the DRDO that you can write here and submit the samples also. Whatever the samples you have prepared, that samples you have to submit at the time of the at the end of the project. These are the different national funding agencies available. University Grant Commission is giving the funding for major research and minor research. Then Council of Scientific and Industrial Research is also giving the projects. This is the website. That Council and Scientific and Industrial Research is under the HRDG, Human Resource Development Group, that is called as HRDG. Yeah, under this HRDG, you can get the projects for major research can be possible. Indian Statistical Institute also giving the project. Indian Council for Social Science and Research, they are also giving the projects. Then Department of Science and Technology, everyone knows Department of Science Technology is giving a number of fundings for different projects, for the technology development, for the product development, for the under the nanoscience and nanotechnology mission, they are giving the fundings for a very good idea of the research. Department of Biotechnology is giving the project, and that is a DBT is giving the project under the biotechnological research, microbiological research. Many things can be possible. Indian Council for Agriculture Research for the agricultural research. Then Baba Research in Nuclear Science, that is BRN, is also giving the research under the Young Scientist Program under the ER and IPR sections. Defense Research and Development Organization, that is DRDO, is giving the project, that is extra mural research and intellectual property rights, that is called as the ER and IPR research. Indian Space Research Organization is also giving the project under this is the SAIL actually. ISRO and University of Pune SAIL is there. They are giving the project for 1 year, that is called as a feasibility study. Nano Mission is a part of the DST. AICT New Delhi is giving the projects to the technical institutes, the like engineering colleges and all the technical institute like ICT, UDCT, like they are giving the projects to these organizations. These are the international funding agencies available, that is World Bank, Asian Development Bank, United Nations Development Program, International Food Policy Research Institute, many more under bilateral collaboration with DST and UGC. The bilateral collaboration means there is a collaboration between the India and Australia, that is called as a bilateral collaboration. India and Israel, India and Russia, like this, the project can be possible. Okay, so these are the different bilateral collaborations are available. Ministry of Ayush giving the projects under the medical theme. Ministry of Environment for the sustainable research. Ministry of Food Processing, Ministry of Non-Conventional Energy Sources, Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Chemical and Fertilizers is also giving the projects. And institutional fundings can be also possible under the SAP, non-SAP. The University of Grant Commission is giving this, UGC is giving this, Department of Science and Technology is giving the DST PERS, DST FAST, and many more. World Bank is giving the TQ program, that is a technical quality improvement program under the TQ. Innovative program like MTech means different innovative program, that is MTech nanotechnology is a innovative program. Under this program, you can get the students up to 25 students you can enroll, and 4 or 5 faculties you can enroll. All the funding can be come under this particular innovative program. You can purchase a very big instrument under this program, but condition is that you can run this program on our own self-supporting basis after cessation of this innovative program. Then funding for conferences and symposium, these agencies can give the funding for the organization of the conferences and symposia, UGC, DST, BRNS, SCRB, DRDO, AICT, and many more agencies are there. They are giving the funding. And you can also have the good opportunity for the consultancy project from different industries. If they have the problem they are facing the problem in the development of the technique, you can resolve that problem. You can get the project for 1 year or 6 months like this. Under that, you can get the consultancy charges also to yourself as well as to the organizations. So this is my research group in Mumbai University. This is from Jalgaon University. Previously, I was working in Jalgaon University. So thank you. Hello. Am I audible?
Thank you, sir. Hello.
Hello. Am I audible?
Hello. I'm audible.
Am I audible? Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Hello.
Hello, Shimpi sir. Am I audible?
Yes, your voice is clearly audible.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable guidance in a very effective manner, sir. Now the session is open for question and answer session. So anyone is having any question, so you can raise your query and ask the question to the Shimpi sir. Hello, is there anyone is participant want to ask any question? I think there is no question. Thank you, sir. Now we reach to the last part of this session, that is vote of thanks. On the behalf of Kamla Nehru Mahavidyalaya, I consider it's a great privilege to propose a vote of thanks to all dignitaries who have witnessed this online national 1-week faculty development program on research methodology. First of all, I am very much thankful to Dr. N.G. Shimpi sir, today's speaker, who graced us with his valuable thoughts. My heartfelt thanks to our guide and mentor, Advocate Ajit G. Vanzari sir, MLC, and Secretary Amar Seva Mandal for their valuable guidance. I am very much thankful to Dr. Smita Vanzari madam, Treasurer Amar Seva Mandal, for her constant support and guidance. I would like to thank Dr. Dilip Badwaik sir, Principal, Kamla Nehru Mahavidyalaya, Nagpur, as well as Dr. W.B. Kunule, Head Department of Chemistry and convener of this faculty development program, for organizing this program. I extend my gratitude to all the participants from different states of the India for their valuable presence during this session. By the permission of the convener, I declare that the program is over. The feedback link for today's session will be shared shortly. Now, one kind request to all of you, please open your camera for a group photo. So please. Hello, Gurudale sir. Hello. Please open the camera. Yes. Thank you all. Okay, thanks to all. Thank you for your valuable guidance and support. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Bye.